Thomas Hendricks here. I'm the host of Legends Behind the Craft. On this podcast, we interview leaders in the wine industry and discuss current topics. Super excited for my guest today. It's Jared Siebert. We met a couple weeks ago at the Commerce7 Partner Day, and he is an OG in the wine app development community. Jared, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, Jared, tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump in, because I've got so many questions about wineries, wine apps, and development.
Yeah. Well, I am the owner of Vintools. Founded that back in 2014. Have been working in web development since I think 2008 or 9, and have just been learning about websites, API integrations, and custom software development ever since. I actually started working at Vin65 back in the old days. Now WineDirect.
Give our listeners a little bit of the landscape, because there's quite the lineage between Vin65, WineDirect, now company. Yeah. And people see it as like three different things or a takeover, but it's quite an amazing story.
Yeah. So I have a long history with Andrew Campus, who's the founder of Vin65 / WineDirect and Commerce7. And I was going to a technical institute in BC called BCIT to learn programming after I had graduated high school, or to get some degrees, I guess. I applied at Vin65 through that connection of knowing that Andrew was in the tech space, and that ended up being my first introduction to winery websites. And Vin65 then got acquired by WineDirect. So Vin65 was renamed WineDirect, and continued worked there for, I think, about 4 years. But part of that acquisition was a move from my hometown, Abbotsford, out to Vancouver. And that introduced a lot of extra travel time. I loved working there, but the travel time was making it really difficult. And so I branched out, and that's where Vintools originated. WineDirect was looking for an easier way for their clients to get onboarded.
Okay.
And the biggest hit, because WineDirect is a proprietary platform, they have had their design and launch tools. You have to know the ins and outs of their system.
Oh man, that is the most complicated system. I do have to say that your templates made things a lot easier, but man, I'm not sad to see it go.
So yeah, that's actually how things started for Vintools. Is they were looking for a way for their clients to get on quickly. And having worked there for 4 years, as one of the lead website developers, it was an easy way to build out some templates, and that allowed clients to take. Usually, the web projects would start at like $5,000, $10,000 just to get integrated with WineDirect, because it's such a proprietary system that nobody knew how to work with it. And now these templates, so we were offering them for free on WineDirect's site. So that allowed their clients to go from months and thousands of dollars to weeks. They could say, yeah, I like that one. And it's set up within a day. And then they just have to enter the content. So that is how that's where we started with. And then we heard about all the complaints with, WineDirect's email marketing tools. They're limited, they're restrictive. The design, it's so hard to design. You have to hire an expert in HTML email coding to make anything look good. Why can't we just use MailChimp?
Yeah.
And that's what pivoted our direction from focusing solely on templates to building out an API integration between WineDirect and Commerce and MailChimp. So that is where things pivoted and took a very, very nice twist for us. From solely doing website development and customizations and WineDirect support there, to helping our clients get ingrained with MailChimp and have access to better email marketing, automations, and all the design tools that they needed to make their emails look great without having to spend $1,000 campaign to get the customizations they wanted.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, what an unmet need. You go from having to hire an email expert to having a club manager being able to actually execute their own email campaigns.
Exactly.
So now you've kind of evolved from templates to finding unmet needs that the system isn't doing and actually extending the WineDirect system. And now we've evolved, and Andrew's kind of did his own thing. He left WineDirect and founded Commerce7. So in reality, it's like kind of the third iteration of his e-commerce journey. There's been, I mean, we all woke up in mid-January and found out that Commerce7 had acquired the SaaS division of WineDirect.
Yeah, that was
the full. It was shocking.
Yeah, that was a very interesting morning to find that one out. But man, it's been making a lot of waves in the wine industry right now because, a lot of people are wanting to hang on to their WineDirect system and they don't want to make the change. And other people are jumping at the opportunity. It gives them a good excuse. Sometimes the owners don't want to go through a rebrand or a design overhaul, but this is like you've got till December 2026 to do this, because WineDirect's shutting down. Yeah. So what a great opportunity for wineries to look at their website, redesign it, and look at current design trends to get something brand new in the process of migrating to Commerce7 or a different winery solution for some clients.
Not to generalize wineries. I mean, there is always some avant-garde wineries that want the latest technology, but by and large, if you look at the 10,000 wineries out there, most of the owners are not. It's technologically front edge. They're not on the cutting edge, and they really resist change. So for the 1,500 wineries that were on WineDirect, you can imagine a lot of these people, they don't want to look at the website anyways. They want to be out in the field. They want to be out in the vineyards. They want to be making wine. Now they're being forced to move, not being forced, but they're now being strongly encouraged to move as quickly as possible into this new platform, which is good. The whole industry needs to increase its, technical savvy, if for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But to step back, Vintools is, even before this acquisition, Vintools started to extend the Commerce7 platform. So the whole tech side of the industry had kind of sort of already started navigating over to Commerce7, at least in my business with Barrels Ahead. We were happy to jump on the Commerce7 platform.
Yeah. So actually fun story about that one too. Speaking of going way back with working with Andrew, I was actually working with Andrew when Commerce7 was originally called Barrel7. And this was when Andrew was contemplating getting back into the wine industry. And we were working on the beta version of Commerce7 together.
Oh, wow.
That led to, once Commerce7 launched, I saw that Andrew had built, or Commerce7 had everything as API driven. And there was this great opportunity of, let's get our MailChimp app from WineDirect to Commerce7, because what a great opportunity to be there in this new marketplace. Because wineries are going to be looking at this latest technology, and a lot shifted right away. Especially the customers who were already had a WordPress website with only hosting their WineDirect e-commerce side of things as the checkout or club sign.
The most brilliant thing he did was actually detaching the e-commerce from the website and allow people to use whatever platform we want. Squarespace, WordPress. I guess you could do it in Drupal. I don't know why you would, but you could do it on any platform you want. And that was the first step.
What about Joomla?
Joomla. Oh my Lord. I still,
Yeah, it's that one
yeah,
holds.
sadly, we still have a site on Joomla way back. Nimbleted's been around since 2007. And one of the original guys, he's so resistant to change. We got him on some like scary server that we don't even look at. He doesn't want to change his site. He loves his Joomla.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. I have to ask this. What is the significance of 7? Barrel 7, Commerce 7. Is this the 7th iteration? Is it a lucky number? Just looks cool.
I think Andrew just loved the numbers. It was, Vin65, and they had a brew version of Vin65 that had a number in it too. And now we're at Commerce7. There's just I don't know.
I meant to ask that at partner day and I completely forgot. But yeah, if anybody knows, add it to the comments. So you extended now Commerce7 and added that MailChimp integration. Talk to me about like from 2014, now we're in 2025, you've gone through 3 kind of iterations of this. The way development's changed. Now it's API driven. Educated. In some ways it's become easier. Some ways it's a little more complex. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So APIs have changed a lot. I mean, WineDirect, their APIs are SOAP based. It was, up and coming at the time, but it's like a very difficult thing to work with in today's age. And now we have these beautiful REST-based APIs that from multiple different platforms, and they're just easier to work with. They're easier to parse. The things have changed a lot in the tech side too. So originally, I'm a Ruby developer, and I started with Ruby on Rails, and that was the way to do things up top.
Oh yeah.
You spin up your server, whether it's on DigitalOcean for $10 a month to just get playing around with something, but you had this whole beautiful framework to work with. But you had to manage servers, you had to manage your database, you had to manage security and whatnot. And that's how things started. We had our EC2 servers, we had our Postgres database set up, and we had to configure all these security rules for making sure that only website traffic could get to our website, but no one could touch the servers in a negative way. Now things are completely changed. Nobody wants to manage servers, and we have completely pivoted from the old way of managing the servers to now we're using AWS Lambdas. We have our database. We're in DynamoDB. We're using a single table design. So instead of having multiple database tables one for users, one for products, one for orders, it's just a single database or a single table design that allows faster access and a unified approach. I believe Alex Debray is the mastermind behind the single table design, and his guides were incredibly helpful for getting this all set up. But yeah, now we have all API requests come through the AWS gateway that we then transform and we send it out to our SQS system that is then picked up by the Lambdas that are listening to SQS for the appropriate tags. So we tag it with MailChimp, with Klaviyo, with Referral Candy, and we put the provider on it too, whether it's WineDirect, Commerce7, or some of the other new vendors that we're looking at. That way the Lambdas the appropriate Lambdas pick up the job to be processed. And we then are able to handle that through queues. And if there's ever a failure on Klaviyo or WineDirect or MailChimp side, or whether we're, Commerce7 and every other system out there has their integration limits, good old rate limiting. If, for example, someone makes a batch request of changing their customers in MailChimp, that data comes back to us and we update the information in Commerce7. But if there's thousands of customers updated, Commerce7 is 100 requests, 100 update requests a minute.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Well, I think they said in V2 that change is coming. Or no, sorry, everything is going to cursor based in V2. Yeah. The update requests, that is still something that we have to throttle on our side and work within those limitations. But with the SQs, we're able to, if we fire as many events as we want, but if they fail, we have a backup strategy so that they keep retrying until they're processed.
Yeah, that's just for the way I kind of describe it to non-technical people, and correct me if I'm wrong, like previously when we were spinning up these EC2 instances with the server, it was to provide just the infrastructure to execute a function. Literally 95% of what's happening on that server wasn't even being used. It just needed to be that container, which caused it could crash, it could do everything. Now with Lambda and using Amplify, we're able to just like execute the code as needed, making it super streamlined.
Exactly. And it's so nice too, because for firing off a webhook, instead of having a server running 24/7, you have this microservice that spins up and shuts down within a couple hundred milliseconds. And we're receiving enough data that our Lambdas are always warm, meaning they're not having to spin up a new server at the exact request moment. But most of our events take just less than 100 milliseconds to execute.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So over the last 10, 12 years, development's been streamlined and it's been accelerating, and you're able to better adapt to the changing technologies and to provide these unmet needs. Let's talk about the I guess I'll predicate this on like Commerce7. Andrew is famous at just saying no. Can you do this? No. Can you add this feature? No. But the brilliant part about that is he says, go talk to the development community. Go work with the partners such as Vintools to fix this need, to enhance their version. What allows it to do it, for me, what it seems is Commerce7 remains nimble, remains a very core product, and you can extend upon it just what you need versus getting this bloated product that you're only using 50% of it because you're never going to need a Klaviyo integration built in because you're using MailChimp, or you're never going to use any of that because you're perfectly happy with the automated emails that Commerce7 sends in.
Exactly. It's a great advantage for third-party developers and for our clients too. Like you said, they get top-notch base services. And then they have the option to choose. Well, there are some systems where MailChimp is built in or is a built-in offering. So right away, they feel obligated to use MailChimp versus they're wanting to use Klaviyo, but that's a paid add-on. And so, well, I can use MailChimp for free, so fine, I'll use it. But now us developers have the opportunity to get basically any custom need. That's happened with MailChimp, with Klaviyo. We developed a referral candy integration. We're going to be releasing an integration with Omnisend soon, which is super focused on e-commerce platforms and those marketing automations. That not everyone's going to use the same product, and it gives us a chance to offer diversity.
I think everyone gets their mind around why you want to integrate MailChimp and Commerce7 so you get user data syncing and you're able to send out all the emails through there because it's a great platform. Talk to me about how the idea for the referral engine came up. Where did that spring from, and what does it allow wineries to do, and what were some of the challenges in rolling that out?
Yeah, actually, I can't remember who approached me about it initially, but I think it was an outside agency. They were working with a client, and that client wanted to use referrals. and they specifically wanted to work with referral candy. And there's a few other referral engines out there that offer similar features. Our referral candy was the one requested, and they had a very open-ish API. And after we had redeveloped our MailChimp integration from the older Rails way to the Lambdas, we had a platform already there that we could copy paste and duplicate that same structure to work with referral candy. And so we integrated with referral candy. We worked around their APIs. So you're able to send and retrieve a certain amount of data. But there's certain things that the customers still have to do. So for instance, referral candy, to get up and running with your campaign, you have to have 500 coupons, single-use coupons entered into their system. Oh, wow. You could have one coupon like welcome 20, and that gives your friend 20% off their order. And that's a reusable coupon. But then what we have are advocates. So if I come to you and say, oh, you got to try out this wine, it's so good, here's my link, check it out. That'll give you a coupon code using my share link. And then if you place an order that fits my the company's campaign requirements, say you have to spend $100, and then I get a reward. And that's a single-use coupon that gets sent out to me. And the winery can configure that any way they want. It could be $10 off. It could be 10% off, whatever.
Oh, brilliant.
It's up to them. And then their advocates get to use these rewards to the purchase from the winery. So it's driving your customers to be doing the marketing for you.
If you're doing any influencer marketing or any advocate marketing, this is a good tool. So you built the tool that allows wineries to actually do this through Commerce7. There's other tools, but it's a little more integrated now. You don't have to do that second back check to see did the referral actually come from here.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens is there's a big hurdle to get started without an integration, and that's that you have to have 500 unique coupon codes. We let the customer set that up and then generate those 500 codes to them. And because Referral Candy their API doesn't allow for entering the coupon codes, we email our clients a CSV file with all the coupon codes after that we're going to generate. And we create those in Commerce7, and they just simply have to import the CSV file into Referral Candy, and they're set up.
Why 500 codes? Is it just so that they're big time? I mean, that's a lot of codes.
I think because they have from their clients that are using their tools effectively and pushing it hard, they're seeing a high turnover rate. So it would suck to get started with a referral campaign saying, hey, give your friend this code for $20 off, and we'll give you a code back for a discount of 10% off your next order. It would suck if you got huge traction on that, and all of a sudden, sorry, we don't have any codes to send you. So 500 is kind of good
for one-time codes.
Yeah, exactly. If they were, you could use
my /Siebert referral link. They can use exactly. It's one I get it now.
Yeah. So it's specifically that one-time use, and that, I mean, you can set up a repeating code, but the one-time use codes seem much more, it seemed like a safer option, right? You don't have to worry about that code getting shared out and people abusing it.
It also is scarcity. I mean, it just makes it look more legit.
Exactly.
So you have to actually import the 500. So you're in Commerce7, you're creating 500 coupon codes, basically.
Yes.
And then what happens when they burn through those? You just rinse and repeat?
Same thing. You just create another batch and send them that batch to import into Referral Candy, and then they keep going.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done much with coupon codes in C7, so I don't No, what happens? So eventually, I would say you're rocking and rolling, you're a huge winery, you burn through 2,000 coupon codes. Those are all just sitting there retired in the C7 database, or?
Yeah, so we're looking at our options for cleaning that up. Like, we have some testing to do, but we're looking at, how will this impact the customer if we delete a coupon code after it's been used? Because we don't want to mess with any tracking of the coupon use and impact their orders in a negative way. But at the same time, having to paginate through 500 or 2,000 coupon codes, we'd actually put out a request to have like a master coupon with multiple single-use codes within Commerce7, and that would help alleviate some of the. Instead of having 500 codes, you have one coupon with 500 single-use codes attached to it. May happen, may not, but we're going to work within what we have today and to try and make it as friendly as possible. We prefix all the coupons that we generate to make it easier for them to filter past. So everything is like RC friend or RC advocate. And cool. That way they can, if they want to prefix everything with an underscore to get at it right away, it makes things easier because nobody sees the title anyways.
That sounds like a very good tool. I want to ask you, and you don't need to share any, secret things that aren't. I'm not asking for that. More like, how are you going forward? How are you diagnosing some of the new apps, new projects that wineries may be needing? I know at Partner Day, there was a lot of talk about enhancing the reporting, and people can't get enough reports, but what are some of the other kind of avenues that you see weak points in Commerce7 that kind of need enhancement?
So that one is interesting. We listen to what people are complaining about. I mean, we're in the marketing industry. Well, like we've worked with MailChimp for over 8 years, and we're expanding to Klaviyo, to OmniSend, we're looking at other marketing platforms that people are using, and to integrate them with Commerce7 and others, because marketing is our focus. But we're also listening through DTC Geeks on Facebook. We're looking at what are people complaining about and how can we fit that need. Or it was even mentioned at the conference, the C7 conference. They were talking about upcoming requirements for dietary restrictions.
Yes.
So is that something that Commerce7 is going to build out of the box, or is that something that a third-party agency would have to develop?
On that, just not to cut you off, we had a person on the podcast, and I wish I had his name. In EU already requires all these dietary requirements, and he's got his app set up where the QR code's on the bottle and you can extend out to it, which sounded very similar to what we were talking about in that room at the C7 conference, where should this be part of that? Should be extended? What are they going to do? But that is a big unmet need that's coming.
Yeah. So, the way we find what integration to develop next is just a lot of listening. What are people complaining about, or what is a new feature that people don't even know they need yet? Right? I think it was even at the conference, people didn't know they wanted Amazon Prime. But they developed it because they saw what people were complaining about: shipping times and upcharge on pricing, or a way for getting member benefits. And all of a sudden you have Amazon Prime, and not only do you get like next day or 1 or 2 day shipping for free, but now you've got access to movies, to music, to all this other stuff. People didn't know that that's what they wanted, but Amazon figured it out. And so that's what kind of how we play it. We're trying to figure out, what do wineries need? How can we enhance this experience? What exists in other retail industries or other providers like BigCommerce or Shopify or whatnot that Commerce7 doesn't have that our clients could benefit from.
Yeah, very smart.
I love cruising the other like Shopify or BigCommerce app stores. Who's integrated with them that's not on Commerce7?
That's smart. I was having a conversation with there's a private equity firm, and they have 5 or 6 wineries under their belt, and of the wineries, 4 of them are on Shopify, and one of them just got migrated from WineDirect to Commerce7. And I was talking to the marketing director there, who's in charge of these 5 this stable of wineries, and it was like he's like, what the heck is I mean, he's so used to all the data and all the tools in Shopify. He's like, what the heck did these people do? I'm like, well, you just got the base model there. You got to understand. You got to understand the extensibility and really what it does well over and above Shopify. So yeah, it was a very interesting kind of outside in hearing that his perspective of looking at the 2 systems when he lives and breathes in Shopify all day long, and now here's Commerce7.
Yeah.
It tends to be a lot of difference.
It's funny to hear that because if I'm not mistaken, Shopify was one of the main examples that helped with a lot of the development decisions with Commerce7 on naming conventions, on what features that were offered that they wanted to replicate. I think that originated from Shopify. I might be mistaken. So, but
that experience would make sense. I think what he was looking at is, where's the reporting? Where's all the analytics? Where's all the I mean, it was more of that part. I'm like, oh no, you're gonna bolt that on. So yeah, that's a great thing. I know on our side, we're looking at kind of developing apps. We've done them in other industries, not so much in the wine. We did a faceted search. We do have an app, but it's not an app because we developed it before the Commerce7 came out.
Yeah.
We were just allowed to code something that turned basically the Commerce7 site into a wine store where you can have many different countries and you can have 600 SKUs, and it pulls the data in and does this faceted search. So for us, that was an unmet need that we just had to create for the person, because it doesn't exist really. The Commerce7 search functionality is not there yet. So
yeah,
I'm extending that.
Yeah, it's more of a filter-based feature right now, right? Like what price or what region, but you can't, or maybe it's in development for V2 to be paired with the V2 release, but there's no like search box that type in caps off or 2015 and see what comes up.
Or they want to, the way this one was, is you want it to behave like you would see like an Amazon store. You click France, then all the
gotcha.
Then you click Bordeaux, everything collapses, or you uncheck Bordeaux, and I mean everything's faceted, so you can quickly drill through exactly what you want, which is what people tend to expect in a store. But most wineries don't have 700 SKUs crossing it, so Commerce7 wasn't really intended to be that type of site, but it's possible to extend to it. One of the other things we're looking at is more of a club retention type of app, because right now, if you can cancel your club online, but there's no real upsell, downsell, or ways to like re-engage the club member automatically, especially for large clubs.
Right. That's actually something that we have included in our integrations.
Did you?
Yeah. So not built in right to Commerce7, but we've got that in a way. So we tag all our customers all our clients' customers get tagged in MailChimp with a active, on hold, canceled, or canceling. So if you have a future cancel date set on a club member, that syncs over, and then you can trigger an automation to engage with different club members in a different way. So you have non-club member tags, you have former club member tags, and you have active club members that you can all interact with differently. You send different campaigns to a former club member to try and see if they're interested in a lower tier that is more affordable if they, too much wine. Okay, well, here's our 3-bottle club. Yeah, or here's our quarterly club sort of thing.
That's super powerful. How many, I mean, when you say, oh, MailChimp integration, a lot of wineries just assume that's all it is. But this whole club retention thing seems like a super powerful feature that's baked in.
Yeah. So, I mean, we try and provide as much information about these customers as we can. We give their club sign up dates, club members since X date or active, joined the Premier Club on May 9th, 2025. And that's enabling them to send these anniversary emails. And that actually originated from a feature request of one of our clients that migrated from WineDirect to Commerce7. They said, hey, we can't send our customers any anniversary emails. How do we do that? Oh, well, we can add that feature for you.
Awesome.
Because they're already working with MailChimp, and we just had to send over a little extra data.
That's cool. That is really cool. Let's talk about AI for a second. And how is that kind of, it's the elephant in the room and all we do now in marketing right now and development. How has AI affected your development process?
It has helped in certain aspects. We can use GitHub Copilot to help review our coding structure. And then as we're developing new features, so we can start typing something and it's already pulling from our code base to our coding standards to make this thing take 2 seconds instead of having to spend the next 5 minutes writing it all out or finding the right file well, it's kind of like this one, so we're going to use it here. And it's also helped streamline some of our code, thinking outside the box and looking at what other people who, I'm not going to claim that I'm the best developer on the market, but I'm very confident in what I do. But there's a lot of people smarter than me that have done things different ways. And with AI programming, I can take a code snippet, have GitHub Copilot check it, and they review and give a more streamlined way or say, well, you didn't think about this one or this case. So that's how we have been using AI internally. But I can see there's going to be a lot of opportunity coming for using AI to help our customers as well. Right? Like in MailChimp, Klaviyo, they're baking AI generated content into their platform. That's not even something that we have to look at making a plugin for.
If I see any more AI suggestions in my content, I guess Google tell me how it should be, Grammarly tell me it should be like this, I've got, then I'm in ClickUp, and I can't write anything without 3 different tools telling me to say it differently.
So too many chefs in the kitchen, right?
You got to weave it into everything. But going back to development, do you see AI? I mean, you see a lot of charts about how the number of developers are just decreasing because AI can handle it. Hey, say you're in college right now and you want to become a developer. How do you make, and I see like us that we've cut our teeth in coding from day one, so we can actually look at the AI generated code and know if it's hallucinating or not. But how does a junior developer, I mean, where is the place of the junior developer, and how do they become that senior developer that can actually just depend on AI for doing what a junior developer would normally do?
So that's the thing, is AI has to come with that caveat of it doesn't know exactly what it's doing all the time. So I think it would be a big mistake for any developer or even junior developer to just say, I need a function to do this, that, and take it at face value that it knows what it's doing. There have been many times that I've taken code that I've written, had AI evaluate it, and their optimizations we're going to completely break it. So you have to understand what AI is giving you. You have to be competent enough in your programming skills or development skills to be able to understand what AI is giving you back and know if it's right or wrong. You can't, somebody just saying, oh, well, I don't need to hire a programmer because I can just use AI to make it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't understand it, that is a very, very scary idea
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to break and you won't know why.
Yeah. Well, then you
Um,
put it in, it's like, it's broken. Fix it.
yeah,
Here's
exactly. And then they'll give you multiple revisions of well, this could work or this could work or this could work. But you still, if you don't know why it broke in the first place, and you're offering a product, that's a scary place to be.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen data anomalies come up
Mm-hmm.
of like you're expecting an email address to be unique, or you're expecting that every customer that comes through the webhooks has an email address, but that is sometimes through data validation issues or through other integrations submitting bad data,
Mm-hmm.
you get garbage that you never expect.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're relying on, well, this is how it's supposed to be, and then things break, well, that's easy enough to identify and fix. But when it's a logical issue or something because AI generated that code for you,
Mm-hmm.
that you don't even understand it at the base level of how this works, that is a much bigger issue that I think us developers are going to be safe in our position for quite some time.
Sure.
Especially because the running joke is, well, won't AI overtake? Well, no, because the client still needs to know how to define the problem in exact detail. And that's something that we have to weave through.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is part of the onboarding process. That is part of the understanding what need they're trying to fix. Is getting all these details out of them that sometimes they weren't even aware that this problem was there, but we're fixing it for them.
For a senior person, you can tell when it's working, when it's not, and you can actually feed it. You know what it doesn't know. To a junior person, they might not even know what it needs to know.
Exactly.
And now, how does a junior? So, let's just say you're just graduating from college, you've already in college, or university, let's just assume that they've had to hand code some stuff, but now they're coming into the workforce, and they need to stay up to speed. What advice would you give a junior developer as far as AI and how to incorporate it in a beneficial way?
I would say try your own way,
Mm-hmm.
and then copy paste your code block into AI and say enhance it,
No.
and see what it comes back with, and try and understand what it came back with and how it's better. Or if it came back with a version that's better than what you wrote originally, take a look at it and see if there's other functions available that could make it even better. One of the things that I like to do is benchmark things. Benchmark is in Ruby, you have string functions for comparisons. So you can use the double equal sign to check if it equals exactly. You can use the .eql question mark to see if the string is the same. And you can use a regex. There's multiple ways to compare a string, but which one's fastest?
Mm.
Which one is going, if you're processing 100 orders at a time and you need to be comparing this specific string value, which version is fastest? Because you want your lambdas to complete in the fastest time possible so that you're build less.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes just simply exploring the language that you're working with to understand the AI recommendations, and to see what other optimizations you could tell AI that you want to use.
That's a valuable tool. That's a good way to use it. I hadn't quite thought of that. That's cool.
I use it sometimes too when I don't want to spend an hour digging through documentation. I'll grab the documentation link to the service I'm working on, and I'll say, "Hey, is this service case sensitive for their values, for the data that you have to pass?" And the answer will be yes, no, or it's a flexible tool. You can use your own case sensitivity. Doesn't matter here, but it does in this and this and this scenario.
It's very cool. As we're winding down, is there anything we haven't talked about or anything you want to discuss?
I think it's how we as developers can work together in this upcoming shift in the industry. There are agencies that specialize, like myself, like Vintools, that specialize in app development and in integrations, app development, and theme development. We have access to designers, but we're not a design agency. We can make things, but don't ask us to make a brand new website that, we like this font and we like our brand theme is the color blue, and here's our logo. Now make it look beautiful. That's not our area of expertise. And I know there are plenty of other agencies that are experts in design, in marketing, in different needs that all our clients are going to have. And I think it would be great for us to work together in this shifting market of clients moving from WineDirect to Commerce7, or, I've seen more than one client come across that they don't want to work with Commerce7 for whatever reason, and they choose a different solution, like Bottom 360, Orderport, eSeller, whatever. I think even WineHub, a Shopify solution, came up recently. And so just learning how we can work to support our clients, our mutual clients, the best. And I can develop that app, but maybe you heard the client's needs and we work together to make it happen. I think that's what would be great to benefit the wineries the best in this upcoming time. That partnership amongst the agencies to fill the gaps.
I couldn't agree more. That is very good. Well, Jared, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a real education.
Yeah, it was a great chatting, and really enjoyed talking about these best practices and the ways that things have changed from good old Vin65 days to Commerce7 with the brand new APIs that support everything.
It's exciting times. Exciting times. Well, we're going to be back in a few months and see how the app environment has evolved.
Sounds great.
Thanks, Jared.
Thanks for listening to the Legends Behind the Craft podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.